usually not a really big crier, but this is really, I mean, he has pulled at my heartstrings.
Heartstrings describe the deep emotions Kathy HEIMERICK has for her grandson, Coopper Browner. Feelings she also has for another little infant whose heart now beats in Coopper. An infant whose death changed so many lives forever.
When they said heart transplant, it was very emotional.
KARI HEIMERICK had known since she was pregnant with Coopper his heart had just 3 chambers instead of the usual 4, but it wasn't until surgery failed to fix it in July that she knew it would take the death of another baby to keep her own son alive.
It's one of those really hard things to pray for. I mean, you're praying that your child gets a heart, but at the same time something else bad has to happen for that to happen.
Every one of these stories is a horrible tragedy. And this one for Coopper was no different.
Dr. Charles Huddleston and his colleagues put him on 2 different kinds of artificial life support to keep this then 7-month-old alive. Then they waited. 2 months later, the phone rang.
And she's like, "We have a heart." And I was like, "Really? Are you sure?"
Another family, mourning in Atlanta, donated the organs of their dying baby.
It was a mess, a very emotional mess at our house that night.
At 1 a.m. on September 4th, Dr. Huddleston got into a private jet at Spirit Airport and flew to Atlanta to bring Coopper's new heart home.
You sort of have a moment of grieving, if you will, when you're in the process of doing it, but then you have to get on to the job at hand.
Dr. Huddleston was back on his way to St. Louis just after 4 a.m. He arrived at Spirit of St. Louis Airport just before 6, and instead of fighting rush hour traffic from Chesterfield, took a helicopter here to Cardinal Glennon. Coopper's family was there to meet him.
When the cooler came in, it was one of those with mixed emotions. I knew that there was a family out there that was suffering, and at the same time, it was like a great relief.
In the days after the transplant, the family celebrated the little things, holding Coopper for the first time since July. Fast forward to just last week. Coopper is thriving. His family hopes to be back home in Jefferson City by Thanksgiving. All because a family hundreds of miles away made the most difficult decision of their lives.
I'm sorry this happened, but it saved our baby, and if we could ever meet them, that would be great.